shows that I've seen and some of the reviews and how I'm connected to some of the people in these shows, I thought that could be a nice video for you to wind down at the end of your day and just hear about some different shows and good experiences while you let the ASMR tingle you to sleep. If you're just using this for relaxation, great. And if you're watching this wide awake, that's also awesome as well. So I'm going to get into it, but I wanted to say one thing. Right now, I think 70% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go click that subscribe button. It means a lot to me. It helps me grow my channel, and it's what you can do to make sure that I'm still making videos in the future. So please do that. If you want to hit that bell icon as well, that will notify you every time I drop a video, so you're one of the first people to see it. But enough about that, let's get into it. So that first one I have here is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. The story of the Cursed Child follows Harry Potter's kid, Albus Dumbledore Potter, and the magic, the onstage practical effects are absolutely gorgeous. There's a lot of capes, there's a lot of movement. The music is by Imogen Heap, who created soundtracks to The Holiday, if you know the music in that. But this is the Cursed Child. Definitely go see this if you're a Harry Potter fan. There's really not a lot like it on Broadway, and it's not a musical. So although there is music and some dance breaks and different moments, it is a play. And if you're not a big musical person, this will bring you back into Hogwarts in a way that you've never experienced. So I would give this show like a 7 out of 10. The next show is already bringing a smile to my face. This one's called Titanic. If you haven't heard of this yet, it's a spoof of the Titanic story with a lot of twists, a lot of amazing different characters. You will laugh your butt off if you go see this show. I'm not going to use the bad word so I don't get flagged, but there's a Celine Dion character and she absolutely crushes it. If you're looking for a fun night out with any group of people, everyone loves this show. Everyone leaves this show with their belly sore from laughing so hard. I don't remember who I actually saw this with, but would highly recommend. I'd give this maybe a 7.5 out of 10. I don't know why I decided to start rating these. Okay, this one. So, this is NA, and if you can see the drawings here, this is Holland Taylor, if you know who that actress is, and this is Anna Villafane. I got connected with Anna in, the summer of 2021. I photographed one of her shows at Tavern on the Green, and we really clicked, and so I supported her when she ended up being Roxy in Chicago with my photography, and I knew she was in this play. Seeing her portray AOC as this role was absolutely electric. It's one of my favorite things I've seen in New York. It's at, I think, Lincoln Center, or the Mid-Scene Newhouse Theater at Lincoln Center. I might be wrong about that, but it's right over by Juilliard. This show, unfortunately, isn't running any longer, so you won't be able to see it unless there's a revival. But I would give this a 9 out of 10. It's one of my favorite plays I've seen with just 2 women in it. Holland Taylor plays Nancy Pelosi, or a close representation. They're based off these people. That's clearly based off of them, but these conversations are completely fictional. So I think there's a really awesome kind of moment with this show, and I'm glad I got to see Anna in it, and I'm glad it's part of my Playbill collection. I'm going to quickly go over this one. Mrs. Doubtfire, the musical adaptation. It was, a feat just to watch him play these roles, and to play the father, and to play Mrs. Doubtfire, and to do it all on stage without the time that is afforded when you're just cutting on a film set. I think they did a great job with this, so I would give this one maybe a 6 out of 10. showed the jury. My friends from Northwestern actually wrote this, and my friend Chloe was in this. One of my best friends was in this. I thought she stole the show. I thought it's a really cool kind of take on what happens after we, potentially overdose or take our own life. And basically a group of people are deciding whether or not this person deserves to go back to Earth or their life is over. And we kind of learn about the character and learn about her kind of relationships through this like purgatory limbo kind of situation. I think Casey and John are so talented and I love what they do. I would give this an 8 out of 10. Okay, so this is Chicago. I mentioned earlier that Anna Villafañe played Roxy. This is my playbill from that night. I think Chicago's just so classic. It's been there for so long, and it has banger after banger after banger. It's one of those musicals that just thrives because people love the dance, people love the Fosse, and it just like takes us back to this like period that is almost nostalgic at this point. As you can see, it's been running on Broadway for over 25 years, so that's a long time. Chicago's not my favorite show, but I would give this production an 8. Okay, so this one here, The Prayer for the French Republic. This is at Manhattan Theater Club. So I actually saw this off Broadway and on Broadway. I think this is the Broadway version, if I'm not mistaken. It basically follows a Jewish family over several generations and kind of really deals with the modern dialogue surrounding Judaism and Zionism and being safe and having a safe place for Jewish people across the world. I think it came at a really timely moment. I think that Joshua Harmon, who's a Northwestern alumni, who also was in my a cappella group, fun fact, is one of the best writers of his generation, and his style is so awesome and so brilliant, and anyone that knows Joshua's writing is an absolute fan. This production, I would have to give a 9 out of 10. And the director of my show, Neil, actually assistant directed this show, so it was fun to see him kind of thrive as assistant director, associate director, and that's that one. This will be playing probably around the world and country for many years, so if you see a production of it, run towards it, and if you know the show, you know what I'm saying there. But okay, so Bruise and Thorn. This is an off-Broadway show at Pipeline Theater. One of my good trans friends, Jay, was the star of this show. She got a New York City Critics Pick, and she commanded the stage. I was so proud of her, and she's definitely a star. I would give Bruise and Thorn an 8. Ooh, okay. So, A Strange Loop. This one is like, you either know it or you don't. It follows a gay black man that has like these 6 kind of like people surrounding him that are different versions of himself, the different voices in their head. And I think it's a really cool show because it just screams blackness, screams queer, and it deserves all of the hype that it got. I forget how many Tonys it won, but it has to be a lot. I would give Strange Loop a 9 out of 10. Okay, so this one, The Music Man, starring Hugh Jackman and Sutton Foster. The ticket that I ended up using for this show was $500. I didn't pay for it. Someone got sick and needed someone to take the ticket. One of my older gay friends had this ticket and asked me to go. It was classic. It was what we knew. It was a perfect production of Music Man. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. I've actually been in The Music Man. It was one of the first musicals that I've ever done. And I love the music. I love the dance. I think it's another show with great song after great song after great song. And it will always be a classic. Hugh Jackman is so likable on stage, and he was kind of the perfect Harold Hill for for that production on and off stage, and you could really see that. So I'm really proud of you in that. Honestly, Sutton wasn't my favorite in this, but love her. Okay, The Play That Goes Wrong. This is one of the funniest shows I have ever sat in. It's not for everyone. It's not everyone's humor. But if you've ever seen like theater fails online, it's basically a compilation of theater fails. The show, as they go on, just falls apart. It's like physical comedy. It's people getting hit in the face, you know. I was shocked how funny I thought this was. My good friend Jesse Aronson was actually playing one of the leads in this show, and I got to see him perform, and he was absolutely hilarious and perfect and absolutely so talented in this. And there he is, Jesse Aronson. I'm reading his bio there. Little shout out to Jesse. This is the 9 out of 10 because seeing Jesse in this hilarious of a show was a 9 out of 10 experience. I have a very interesting relationship with the K-pop musical. I auditioned for it in Los Angeles back in 2018 or 2019, and it was one of the worst auditions of my entire life. I'm not going to go into the story, but essentially, I had a stroke in the room, and if you're an actor, you know what that's like. I had too much expectation on this. I thought this was my only chance at Broadway, so I was a little like, you know, had too many eggs in this basket. I loved the show. I didn't love the book of the musical, and what that means is like I didn't like the scenes that were in between the songs. I thought the group did an amazing job at performing the group numbers and dancing like a K-pop group and singing like K-pop artists, but they missed a lot of opportunities when it comes to the messaging and the real like gritty issues with K-pop factories and K-pop groups and Korean culture. And you could have really examined Korean culture in a new light with this show, and I feel like it missed the mark. I would have to give this a 6 out of 10, and not just because I'm bitter. Alright, The Book of Mormon. If you don't know about this musical, you should. It is created by the makers of South Park, and it is one of the funniest musicals I've ever seen. I've seen it twice. My brother and my sister-in-law just came and saw it with me, and this is the dream show of mine, but I don't think that I look Mormon enough or white enough for it. But maybe we'll let the casting director decide that. Book of Mormon is a 9 out of 10 experience. It's not a 10 out of 10, but it's up there. It's one of the best musicals and why it's been running for so long. So this one, Take Me Out. The fun thing about this one is all of the guys on the baseball team shower naked on stage. If that's your thing, then you missed out because it's closed. But it is a story about a closeted or gay baseball player who's like one of the best baseball players on the team, and Jesse Tyler Ferguson plays a fan that ultimately turns into a super fan of baseball, and what baseball gave this gay person, and basically a story about what sports can mean to queer people and the intersectionality between gayness or queerness and baseball. And who doesn't like a little baseball player for the eye candy, right? So this one, Leopoldstadt, this is a Holocaust/Jewish play, and you bawl your eyes out at the end of it. I saw this on Christmas Day. My friend Jesse Aronson was also in this, so he's been in The Play That Goes Wrong and also Leopoldstadt, and he stepped into a bigger role after I had seen the production, but I've seen him in the smaller role. And you really just, it's 40 people on stage. You basically see how a family goes from full of life and full of relationships and full of culture to almost all of them being Auschwitz non-survivors, if that makes sense. It's a deep play, it's serious, genius, and I think it should be taken seriously. It's one of the best plays I've seen. Tom Stoppard is a genius, and I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. I don't think I've given a 10 yet. I almost gave one to Music Man, but Annie. So I saw Annie at Madison Square Garden. It was advertised that Whoopi Goldberg would be playing Miss Anne again, and we ended up coming on the day. That was before Whoopi's starting point, so we kind of got bamboozled with the ticket there and thought we were seeing Whoopi. I saw my friend Drew Denabi in this. I just took Drew's headshots, and it was a great production. Annie is full of amazing music, and it's one of those that holds up because the music holds up and the music is good. So this production I'd give an 8 out of 10. Okay, so as you can see, this playbill is signed. My friend and best friend Allison J is playing Winona Ryder in the Stranger Things play on Broadway. This show blows my mind. You feel like you're on a Marvel amusement ride. You feel like you're on set of a multi-million-dollar practical effects show. It is wild. Broadway has never done something like this. It has pushed the boundaries for what can happen on stage. Louis McCartney, who plays Henry Creel in the show, because it is a prequel to the TV show, so my friend playing Winona is playing a younger version of Joyce Maldonado, who's now Joyce Byers. But Louis is phenomenal. He was nominated for a Tony as a lead actor in a play and deserves the nomination over and over again. If you want to see a young person who's completely embodying and self-actualizing in this role, go see Louis. I promise you, you won't be disappointed. He plays Hamlet, Hades, and Evan Hansen all in one role. You see him being taken over by Vecna, and it's just a remarkable performance. Literally, I was so jealous of him looking at him performing in this role. Stranger Things is gonna get a 9 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10. This might be the first 10. Into the Woods at LaGuardia High School. So LaGuardia is kind of like the Juilliard of high schools. It's right by Juilliard. It's on the Upper West Side, and the talent floods in from all over the country, but definitely all over the tri-state area. My good friend from Northwestern, Michael Hurwitz, directed this show, this student production, and I am going to tell you, this was the best Into the Woods I've ever seen. I've seen it professionally done many different times. There was nothing wrong. It was beautiful. It was reimagined. I was obsessed with the show. I wanted to go back a second time. And this is the first 10 out of 10. So, props to you, Michael and Rosie, for producing the number one thing I've seen this year. Oh, wow. And we have a follow-up here with Maybe Happy Ending. This play just won the Tony Award for Best Musical. It is about two AI helper robots that are retired that fall in love and realize they're capable of more things than they ever realized. Darren Criss from Glee plays this role, and I bawled my eyes out at the end of this one. This one's also going to be a 9 out of 10. Michael Arden did an incredible job, as he always does. He's the GOAT with this stuff, so go see Maybe Happy Ending. It's got a Korean flair. It started in Korea, and the music was written by a Korean man, so. The Bedwetter. So if you know Sarah Silverman from School of Rock, and she's a voice actor, she's done everything, she's a stand-up comedian, she wrote this show. I think the coolest part of it is that, although it was about a younger person, the themes and the narration in the book was very mature. Joshua Harmon, who also wrote The Prayer for the French Republic, co-wrote audiences, not just theater audiences. I saw, young teenage boys bawling their eyes out at the end of the show and moved, and, other kids on the field trip making fun of him. But the music is by Ingrid Michaelson. It's a similar kind of like singer-songwriter to Broadway trajectory that Waitress had with Sarah Bareilles. I love a couple songs in this show. My Days is a huge standout, and seeing Joy Woods in the production was absolutely awesome. My friend Carson played the physical trainer and the young friend in the show, and it was awesome to see another Wildcat on a Broadway stage. So I was pleasantly surprised by this. The choreography's great. Katie Spellman, who I've got to study with before, staged this so beautifully because there are several generations of the relationship, and there's a lot of stage pictures and a lot of storytelling just done with movement, and it was kind of Katie's big splash into New York City, and now she's a Broadway choreographer. So congrats to Katie. I give The Notebook an 8 out of 10. Okay, so Mary Jane, my Aunt Mary, actually brought me to the show. I didn't even realize that one of my Northwestern friends, Lily Santiago, was in this until I got there. And so seeing a friend in this show across from Rachel McAdams was absolutely inspiring and super awesome. The show is about having a kid who's terminally ill, and kind of the mental health toll that having a sick child does to the parent, and how gnarly of a life process it is to deal with a sick kid. The themes were very deep. It was a very moving play. To this, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. So this is Anne Juliet. This is a story about Romeo and Juliet and what would have happened if Juliet did not take her own life. And it was just a really kind of fun time. It's all the songs that you know, so it's a jukebox musical, which basically means that they're taking songs that have already been written or that have already been written and putting it into a narrative form in a Broadway musical. Teenage Dream and Firework by Katy Perry are in this, and it's kind of cool when you see how well the songs are aligning up with the story that they're telling. I also got to shoot Justin Sullivan, the original May, on Broadway backstage before their show, and Justin's an absolute light of a person and a light of a performer, and it was another cool moment where I saw a show for free because I took photos of someone that was in it. So if you're looking for a family fun time, I think Charlie D'Amelio is in this show right now, and I think that's absolutely so fun. So hopefully by this point you've already dozed off, or you're already relaxed from all the ASMR tingles. I want to thank you for making it to the end of the video. Again, if you like this, please subscribe. Please turn on bell notification. It helps the growth of this channel. If this channel continues to grow, I'll be more incentivized to make videos. But if you don't hit that button and you just watch, then that's great too. But I need the encouragement. Having a YouTube channel is hard. Setting up these videos is difficult. And I hope that it was worth it. I hope that you're relaxed. I hope that you feel better than when you started this video. And I hope you got a little sense of what Broadway shows are like. And hopefully you'll come and see